In this video, we're going to be talking about Jupiter in Libra through all 12 houses, starting with the general meanings of this placement. So, if that interests you, you're in the right place. And as well, if you enjoyed this video at any point, or you feel like you will, then don't forget to leave a like on this video and subscribe to this channel to see more of your placements when they come out. With that being said, what Jupiter represents in astrology is optimism, good fortune, and knowledge. It also represents our beliefs and our convictions for that reason. And Libra is the sign of society, justice, and relationships. And it's also about cause and effect. So for one, when you have Jupiter in Libra, it could show that a lot of your beliefs or convictions are influenced by the beliefs of others or by the presence of other people. So when you assimilated a lot of your convictions, it may have started from another source. And you guys learn a lot from your relationships or from relating to others. Now, the other thing about this placement is that it can show people whose beliefs are based on social agreement. So like your convictions is about what would seem agreeable or correct in the social or society standpoint. When Jupiter's in Libra, it shows that your optimism is revolving around society and humanity. You like to believe in such things, or you like to believe that society and humanity are headed in the right direction, despite the numerous obstacles that might come along the way. And overall, these individuals that have this placement have strong convictions around justice, equality, or laws, because Libra is about law. And they have a belief system that revolves around the concept of cause and effect, because Libra is also about cause and effect. So a lot of your convictions or your philosophy about life is about, one thing happens because of another because of a cause or like another thing. And it's like everything happens for a reason type beliefs or thinking. And next, the next thing about Jupiter is it's about abundance and good fortune. So those with Jupiter and Libra will always reap abundance and good fortune through others at various points in their life. And like they will receive a lot of help and support from others. And that's part of one of the reasons that they're blessed. Also, Jupiter, it expands things and it creates an abundance of things. So when it's in Libra, this is about relationships. So these individuals will have an abundance of relationships, or they will have, a relationship or a few relationships to, certain people in their life that bring them a lot of good fortune. And this placement pretty much guarantees marriage, especially like if it's in a woman's chart, because Jupiter represents the husband in one's chart. So when it's in the 7th house together, this shows marriage. And furthermore, if it's in the male's chart, Jupiter represents how he is a husband. So if you're a male with this placement, it shows that you're like a fortunate partner or like a good husband that, respects his agreements or, knows how to relate to others or have a healthy and abundant relationship. Libra also shows charm as well. So you might be charming and agreeable, and that's what makes you a good prospect to a woman. So ultimately, the last thing I have for this placement in general, before we talk about the houses, is that Jupiter in Libra shows somebody that is balanced and wise, especially when it comes to relationships. And it also shows somebody that teaches and inspires others through being a mirror to them, because Libra is the mirror in astrology and it's ruled by Libra. Libra, the planetary, like the planet and like the planetary symbol for it. Not Libra, but Venus, the planetary symbol for Venus kind of looks like a mirror with a handle. And it's no surprise or no coincidence that Venus is the planet of beauty, value, attraction, and love. And generally speaking, when you have Jupiter in the sign of Libra, which is one of the signs of Venus, it shows that other people feel optimistic in your presence, because Jupiter brings optimism in the chart. So you might be very inspiring towards others. And again, like you're wise and you teach your wisdom through being a mirror towards other people. And it's like the saying goes that sometimes actions speak louder than words. And so those with Jupiter and Libra naturally may understand this. Furthermore, the next thing that we're going to talk about is Libra Jupiter through each of the houses. If you enjoyed this video so far, don't forget to leave a like on this. And if you enjoyed and this resonated, you will also enjoy my natal chart readings, which I am currently offering on my site. And this will give a more comprehensive overview of your chart. So before we talk about the houses, I just wanted to bring that up as well. And it's just a 1 hour long pre-recorded chart reading covering your personality and how you are perceived by others based on your placements, as well as your talents, your financial astrology, and your life path based on the North Node. So if that interests you, definitely check out the link in the description, astroseri.com. And I also have my email in the description if you'd like to contact me that way. If you have Jupiter and Libra in the first house, this indicates that you have an optimistic, fair, and humorous personality, because Jupiter is about humor, and it gives, jubilance and expansive energy. And the first house is about personality or first impression or appearance. And ultimately, your optimistic personality and your humor makes you relatable and charming, because Libra is about charm and relating. If you have Jupiter and Libra in the second house, this shows that you're somebody that manifests financial abundance through an abundance of connections and relationships. Jupiter in the second house expands your finances, and it kind of blesses you financially. You'll receive unexpected money throughout life, or easy wealth. And you also might be very knowledgeable about wealth. And anyways, you will have many streams of income throughout life, especially through different agreements and paperwork and contracts, because Libra is about contracts and agreements. So these can become like passive sources of income for you. And so, these in modern times can represent things such as sponsorships or, business dealings. And, secondly, Jupiter is about generosity and gifts. So in the second house, it indicates that you receive a lot of tips from other people when it comes to your job or any service-oriented careers. You might be the waiter at a restaurant that gets, for the most part, some of the most tips out of all the other waiters or waitresses. Or you could be, somebody that works in a different job at a different field, and there's tips involved, and you might get a lot of tips as well. And I would use that energy to your advantage. I would get in situations where, you're serving others, and like that being a part of your career will actually increase your income. But also, people just generally feel more optimistic and generous in your presence. So you have or will receive large gifts of money at some point in your life with this placement. Especially if it comes from your job or helping others. Like you might get a very big deal or very big sum of money from a client or something like that for your services or something. If you have Jupiter and Libra in the third house, which is about communication, this shows that you are an optimistic and long-winded conversationalist. Your cleverness wisens or inspires others, and you have an ability to make others believe in you or rally their support and agreement simply with your words. And you know this quality of yourself, and you may use it to your advantage. But generally speaking, as well, those that have Jupiter and Libra in the third house are very passionate in their speech. So this makes them quite influential or convincing. And like they just speak about topics that they're very passionate about. And they can be persuasive or like wise or clever when it comes to their words. And like people will follow what they say. So these can make great teachers, great motivators, and just great speakers in general. Next, we're going to talk about Jupiter and Libra in the 4th house. If you have this placement, this shows that you have a fair and unbiased intuition because Jupiter is exalted in the 4th house, and the 4th house is about intuition, and Libra is about balance. So those that have Jupiter and Libra here see both sides of an argument, and they can fully understand each of these sides, and they rarely take sides. When it comes to solving problems, their conclusions are usually impersonal, quite reasonable, and most importantly, they are correct about their conclusions because they have like a cause and effects type of approach towards truth that is usually unbiased. Now, also, Jupiter brings good fortune and abundance in some form wherever it is in the chart. And when it's in Libra, this is about good fortune coming from others, especially help or support. And the 4th house is about security and foundations and roots. So this is a very blessed placement that shows that no matter where you are in life or what you're going through, you have a vast security net of friends, family, and support. And that may not be something that everybody gets to appreciate or that not everybody has. So it's something that, you may take for granted, but I can assure you that it's not common, or like not all people are as blessed as you in that facet. Next, we have Jupiter and Libra in the 5th house. The 5th house is about character and ego, and that's because it's ruled by Leo and the sun. And the 5th house shows our value to others, or how we receive validation and praise, and what makes us stand out. And Jupiter is the largest planet in the solar system, and it expands things within the chart. So with Jupiter being in your 5th house, this indicates that you have a larger than life character, and you live with purpose because Jupiter is about convictions, beliefs, and it can be about purpose as well, and wisdom too. So with this placement, you live with a lot of conviction, and you rally the support around you from others. Your mind is formidable, and your opinions are agreeable. Others will tend to believe in you because you play the role of a person that is to be believed in. Jupiter is about belief, and the 5th house is about your ego or your character. So your whole ego is somebody that others should believe in. And so you might have a very convincing aura or personality. And Libra is about the perspectives of others, and it's about gaining the agreement or support of other people. So that is what makes you blessed in this case, because Jupiter shows blessings. Next, we have Jupiter and Libra in the 6th house. If you have this placement, it shows that you are a generous, helpful, and service-oriented soul. Throughout life, you achieve a large set of work and like a very prominent track record of achievements or like accomplishments, because the 6th house is about work and tasks. And a lot of times this work or these tasks can be overlooked or taken for granted, but nonetheless, over time, people start to notice your positive track record. And Jupiter here shows that your good deeds will be rewarded substantially. And also your attention to standards and to quality is noticed by others and will be rewarded. And at times it is rewarded from others because Jupiter shows good luck and good fortune. So at times people may tip you or give you money for the quality of your service or your work. And those that have this placement, have a very keen attention to detail or to standards. Now, this placement also shows that you are an employee or just a person in general that is hard to replace, because there are not many people that can do things as good as you. The 6th house is about service, and with Libra, Jupiter, this shows attention to standards and like to quality. So Jupiter will reward you, especially financially, throughout life due to your positive track record of work or accomplishments and your life's purpose or your life's work that you participate in every single day, whatever that may be for you. If you have Jupiter in Libra in the seventh house, this shows that you are a social risk taker, and people have always seemed optimistic and generous around you and supportive because Jupiter blesses us and the seventh house is about support, and so is Libra. Generally speaking, you've always had good fortune socially, and this is because you are bold and always expecting a good outcome to your actions, especially when it regards social situations. And your faith pays off, your optimism pays off. And others are merely reflecting to you your own positive character traits by being supportive and generous. And also, those that have Jupiter and Libra in the seventh house, they have a tendency to believe in others and to always see the best in others. So this might actually bring out the best in other people. And you might inspire others to become the best version of themselves because Jupiter is a teacher and it's wise. It's all about wisdom. So you have this ability to relate towards others or have relationships and bring the best out of the other person. So people owe a lot to you. If you have Jupiter in Libra in the next house, which is the eighth house, this shows that people always give you things. The eighth house is about receiving or taking, and the eighth house is about the possessions of others. It's about also desires or things that we want, but that others possess. It's also about shared resources. And this is because the eighth house opposes the second house. And with Jupiter here in Libra, this shows that you are wise and knowledgeable about psychology and sociability. And so you might explore that curiosity in books and in knowledge and always wanting to learn more about psychology or society or socializing or anything social related. Other people have given you amazing tips on such subjects and amazing sex too. The eighth house rules sexuality. And Jupiter in the eighth house in Libra can show that you know how to ask for things or ask for help, or rather how to get the desired consequences of your actions. Now, also Jupiter is about random knowledge or epiphanies. So people have always had a tendency to fill you in on their deepest secrets when you have Jupiter and Libra in the eighth house. So you know all types of people's secrets, or you might be very knowledgeable about just psychology, and that could come from a very organic source such as like books and stuff like that. But generally speaking too, like people have always been helpful to you or like given you things. Like you always just receive things, and that's just a natural thing that happens when somebody has Jupiter in the eighth house. They may also at some point receive a large inheritance or something of that nature. That's very likely with Jupiter being in the eighth house. And it could be like also tax refunds a lot, or anything revolving debt, taxes and stuff like that can actually work in their favor. But mostly people just like to give them things, or it just comes easily. And that's the more common expression. If you have Jupiter in Libra in the ninth house, this shows that you are interpersonally experienced and wise, because the ninth house is all about experience. So those with planets in the ninth house have wisdom regarding that planet. And in this case, Jupiter is in Libra, which is about relationships or relating towards others. And it's also about sociability. So you may be experienced with all different sorts of people and cultures. This placement will also show that you're open-minded and adventurous. You have a fine sense of justice, of right from wrong, understanding that these are relative concepts. You are the most right of all people. You understand that there is no such thing as objective truth, but that truth, it really depends on how you define things. And your wisdom comes from the fact that you know that when something is false, it's just when somebody contradicts their own truth or their own set of previous statements. So, this placement definitely shows some very intelligent traits and wisdom and experience with people. Next, if you have Jupiter and Libra in the 10th house, this shows manifesting fame, fortune, and success through social support, because Jupiter is about blessings and good fortune, and Libra is about relationships, and it's about others, and it's about help. And it can be about social agreement or society and social support. So since this is all happening in your 10th house, or it could be conjunct your midheaven if you're watching in that scenario, this shows that at certain points in your career you will achieve massive growth or like major support that kind of boosts your success. And in my opinion, this may be one of the most unbalanced of the Libra placements, which ironically is the sign of supposed balance. Because to the public, when you have Jupiter in Libra in the 10th house, it seems almost like you can do no wrong. Or rather, to onlookers. And that could be due to the enormous amount of social support that you get when it comes to your endeavors, your career, or your public image. And Jupiter in the 10th house can definitely shows fame or, an expansion in one's notoriety or one's name or one's success. So anyways, that's why I say, ironically, this can be one of the most unbalanced of the Libra placements, because you just receive an unfair amount of social support. And people have always been inspired of your success or of your public image, and their benevolence and optimism ironically contributes further to your success. Also, you have the faith and the patronage of the public. Jupiter is about faith. The sign Libra is about society and social agreement, and it's about others. So you've always had this energy where people believe in your ambitions. So that's been a blessing to your success, and it could help you to manifest fame or fortune or a great legacy, especially if you do any type of Jupiter-based careers. So things such as teaching, things such as travel or documenting knowledge. And what else could Jupiter be? Jupiter, like I was saying, is travel. But Jupiter can be anything that inspires others. So it can be, creative or artistic careers too, because Jupiter traditionally ruled Neptune as well. And I mean, not Neptune, Pisces. And Pisces is about creativity, but also spirituality. So any spiritual-based careers or teaching-based careers, you will gain a large amount of notoriety because you have the planet of teaching and the planet of spirituality conjunct to your midheaven or in your 10th house somewhere. Next, if you have Jupiter and Libra in the 11th house, this indicates a large, diverse, and benevolent set of friends and like a large network. Also, you will manifest various streams of income due to investments or what you contribute socially to the network of other people. Jupiter shows good fortune and benevolence. And when it's in Libra, it shows that other people feel good in your presence, or they feel like optimistic, generous, or benevolent. And that may be due to you being like an asset towards other people socially, because you have a very large network and you're very well interconnected. Also, you might contribute a lot socially towards others. You manifest a lot of sponsorships, deals, and passive streams of income. And also, you attract a lot of invitations, opportunities, friends, and events, parties, stuff like that, when you have Jupiter in the 11th house. And Libra gives you an abundance of support. So the energy is there in your chart to become very popular or very well connected, even if it's like a subtle form of popularity where maybe you are not necessarily so publicly known, but more so a lot of people know you. If that makes any sense, like you might just really be in everyone's network or not too far from everybody's network. And so a lot of different opportunities may come to you easily just from being well connected or something, um even if you may not seek that attention outwardly. Finally, this leads us to Jupiter and Libra in the 12th house. And those that have Jupiter and Libra in the 12th house attract a lot of help from others, because the 12th house is about victimhood, or appearing like a victim, or appearing like we need help. The 12th house is about compassion. So Jupiter in Libra shows that in various moments in your life, you attracted, or you will attract, fortunate forms of compassion from other people, or like people coming and saving you from a negative situation or helping you. And the 12th house is very spiritual, so at times this may not even take a physical person's form. Like it may be your spirit guides or the universe or God, like coming to the rescue at different times. And you might have a strong and spiritual connection to the angelic realms, or to your spiritual team, your spirit guides. But even on earth, like on a third dimensional level, others always want to like help you or have your back when you have Jupiter and Libra in the 12th house. And this is because you project an aura of openness, vulnerability, or of someone that is easy to help. The 12th house is about vulnerability. It's about being sensitive, or like not necessarily open, but Jupiter makes you open. It's optimistic, carefree, and expansive. So you have this very like optimistic, benevolent, like vulnerable energy about you, or aura about you, even if it could not be, even if it's like just an illusion. Like people just feel like you're very vulnerable or open. And so this is why people come in and try to help you a lot. On a side note, Libra is an air sign, and it's all about persuasion, and it's all about agreement and the perspectives of other people. So this is also a placement that shows persuasiveness, and in fact it could be like incredible persuasiveness, and this ability to convince others of your dreams and your perceptions, because the 12th house is a very spiritual or imaginative house, so it's about everything that's non-physical. So what's unique about you is that you're able to persuade others towards your way of perceiving things as well. And you're able to convince others of your dreams and give people faith or optimism in the infinite, especially what things that are possible, or like things that could be but are not yet happened. So in a way, you're just naturally spiritually inspiring towards others. And again, like you're just very persuasive, and you can like lead other people on, or like paint an illusion at times if you wanted to, and if this placement is used negatively. But for the most part, Jupiter is an optimistic placement, and it's like benevolent. So really this persuasive energy is coming from your own faith or your own optimism in your dreams, and your ability to put this into words for others to understand. So for the most part, people that have this placement will not necessarily abuse it or trick others, because that's not really where they're coming from when they inspire other people. is more so like they'll get other people to believe in them because of how optimistic or faithful they are in something. So that is Jupiter in Libra in the 12th house. And then, of course, other people also want to help you a lot. So, with that being said, that is Jupiter in Libra through each of the houses. I appreciate the support. And other than that, I will talk to you sometime soon in another video. Peace.